We're here today at Crabwood near Winchester. Just wanted to stop and have a look at a few little plants that we haven't talked about before. This one here, this is called woody nightshade, or lords and ladies, and you can see from the flowers that it's quite conspicuously a member of the tomato family. And later on this will have little tiny tomato-like berries on it. It's a kind of twining climber. You can see that the leaves do have a bit of a tomato potato look to them. Not edible, obviously. It's a lot of the plants in the solanum family are poisonous, and this is no exception. But what a lovely little plant. Aren't those flowers quite pretty? These plants here are spurge, and these are actually green flowers. So the flowers are gone now. Those are the seeds remaining there. It's a very poisonous and kind of caustic plant. It has this white latex sap that is an irritant to skin and quite poisonous, but still nice to look at. It's nice to look at green flowers occasionally. And look at this magnificent beech tree here. Magnificent, but probably not much longer for this world. It's doing what beech trees do when they get old, I'm afraid, which is fall apart. And so it must be, I mean, that trunk there is probably 1.5 meters in diameter, and people have carved their initials and dates and things on there. I think there's one there that says 1976. This tree, I would say, probably is a good deal older than that. I would say probably 100 years old or so. Eva, come out of there now. Eva, out now. Out. Yeah, not a good idea. This is why it's not a good idea to camp underneath beech trees, because they have a habit of just falling apart or shedding branches in high winds, and we have had high winds just recently. Now I can see up on there, let's see if we can zoom in on it. I can see what I think is probably, could be oyster mushrooms, but not really sure. They're a bit young to be able to tell. So this tree will soon probably meet its demise, and it will return to the forest soil. And of course there are plenty of seedlings. During its lifetime it will have produced thousands of seedlings, of which, here's one, there's a beech seedling, no doubt from this very tree. So there are plenty of young beech plants just waiting for the opportunity for this bit of light in the forest canopy. And just down here is a little plant we are familiar with. Let's just have a look. Look at that. Wild strawberries. Fantastic. And this is one of the first places I ever came to pick wild strawberries, here at Crabwood, 25 years ago. Almost 25 years to the day, actually, where we first found wild strawberries here in Crabwood. So here we are again, and it's good to see that they are always here. So look at that, there's another one down there. And these wild strawberries, what they lack in size and, let's say, appearance, actually, because they're not the prettiest things in the world, they more than make up for in flavour. So there's another little one down there. Let's just gather a few of these and then we'll have a proper taste. There's another. And all along here, they do tend to flourish best at the edges of woods. We'll find the plants all the way into the woodland there, even in the darkest spots. We'll see the plants, but they tend to fruit and flower best at the margins of the woodland. And so, because the woodland here is managed, which means every now and again they come along and cut down a big swathe of it and let it regenerate, that gives this wild strawberries an excellent opportunity to grow. And so there's always a few to be picked here. Anyway, I've only found 4 for now, but I'm going to have a taste of these now and I'll tell you what I think of them. Oh gosh, they're really, really good. Intense strawberry aroma. Here's a little vetch of some sort we haven't seen before. Now this one's obviously adapted to growing in shady woodland, but you can see from the flowers, definitely pea family. Look at those flowers. Definitely little pea flowers there. And of course it's got little tendrils on the end of the leaf stalks. And classic pea family leaves. So we'll look that one up when we get home, and if I can identify it, the name of the plant will be on the screen around about now. But lovely little pale violet flowers, and there's a few others of it along here and out in the woods throughout there. Lovely. Just over here, I'll see if we can get a closer look. Is a quite common but interesting woodland butterfly. Let's see if we can get a closer look at him. He's right underneath, in amongst the grass down there. Oh, here we go. Let's just see if it'll settle again. It's called a spotted wood. There it goes, it's settled down there on the path. Let's see if I can get close enough to have a good look at it. So it's just it's a brownish butterfly with cream coloured spots on the wings. You hopefully can see it amongst, there we go, amongst the stones there. And it's very common to see these butterflies occupying a little patch of sunlight on a forest path, and they will tend to settle on the ground in the sunlight, and very often you see another butterfly will come along, another of the same species. I believe they're males competing for territory, and they do this dance thing where the two of them will spiral up into the air, and some sort of negotiation is probably taking place, and one of them ends up occupying the patch of sunlight and the other flies on. So it's down there at the moment. Maybe this isn't a male, this could be a female laying eggs. Down there in amongst the grass. That's the spotted wood butterfly. Let's see, oh, we might get a good look at it this time. The trouble is with butterflies is getting them to stay still long enough to get close, and then getting close enough without disturbing them. Anyway, let's move on. Now here alongside the path, look, these are wild raspberries. Not ready yet, and I doubt we'll get a look in because the birds will be here and take most of them. But that looks like a good lot of wild raspberries to be had fairly soon, I should think. Okay, now I think this plant down here is called Woundwort. I'm not sure, so we will identify this conclusively, and you will see the name of it on the screen in a moment. But let's just stop and appreciate those pretty little maroon pink flowers. Look at that. Again, that patterning inside the flower is not for our benefit. That's to tell the bees, come here and get the nectar. Let's just have another look at that. Those are nectar guides, those lines. Oops. There we go. Look at that. I think it's nice to stop and just appreciate little details like this sometimes. Anyway, so let's identify that plant when we get home. But actually, while we're down here, what we found is more wild strawberries. Now down here on the sunny margin of this path, the wild strawberry plants have had a chance to flourish, and so we're seeing more of the actual fruits down here. And I think the fun thing about these little wild strawberries is that most of the people coming here are just walking straight past these without even realising they're here. This is like a little secret, I guess, that, you know, if you know what you're looking for, and actually if you'll take the time to look around, then there are little treats in store for you. In an earlier video we looked at wild arum, and this is the fruits of wild arum. They're not quite ripe yet, so these panicles of berries here will turn red throughout summer. I presume be distributed by birds. They're poisonous to humans. But there you go, that's the developing fruits of wild arum. Here in a little clearing in the woods we've got elderflower growing. Now if left, these will turn into elderberries, but right now they've got a kind of grapey, fruity fragrance, and elderflower can be made into drinks. You can make a kind of sparkling wine out of elderflowers, but it's really quick to make. But I'm glad to see that we've got a few unopened flowers, so we've got about another week, I'd say, before the elderflowers start to run out. So if I get a chance, we'll do a video on elderflower fizz. So thanks for joining me on this wander through the woodland today. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.